ahead with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you want to stand, you can. I will actually. And we'll do this with the right cadence that we can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, I messed it up. I'm so sorry. Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Goodness, sorry about that.
That's all right. Maybe I was the one that messed it up.
No, it was me.
That one's just never stuck in the back in my
That's
head.
what happens when you're on the spot.
Yeah.
So let's get this meeting going. We'll call to order. We'll just make sure we do have a quorum. Fellow supervisors Bob Strauss, Patty Hartle, and Chuck Becker online. Do you need to do anything else? Do we need to do anything else for roll call? We're good. Okay. We will do opening announcements. Denise, do you want to go ahead?
Sure, of course. Like the other meetings we've been doing on Zoom, this is being recorded live on CNET's YouTube channel. And after the meeting, a link will be sent out to anybody who is on the meeting and who is pre-registered for that. We're also asking residents to join any of our available ABCs, authorities, boards, or commissions. If you have any interest in it, please visit our website. And while there, you can click on the link to contact us. We had a listserv, but unfortunately, when we switched over to Outlook and started using Microsoft products, we lost our original one. So even if you've done it in the past, we encourage you to join, and you'll get updates from the township that way. Additionally, PSATS is having a contest for any like volunteer organization. It's designed mostly for like youth organizations, for any service project that they've completed that benefits a second-class township. The deadline to enter is March 1st, and you can find some information on our website there, and the top prize is $500.
Fabulous. I'm going to specifically call out to the Cub Scouts.
They were emailed and they're aware of the project.
Excellent. Okay, good. Can I ask you to do one thing and increase the size of the agenda, not just for me, but for anybody watching as well? Thank you so much. All right, we'll take some time for citizens' comments on anything that is not already on the agenda this evening. Any come in beforehand, Denise?
No, nothing beforehand.
Okay. We'll move along to the approval of this agenda. So hopefully all the supervisors have had a chance to look at the items on the agenda this evening, and we will need to approve it. Or if you have something you want to change on it, speak now.
The only thing I'm going to ask to change is that under new business 6H, that we table that until the next meeting.
Okay, noted. So agenda minus 6H. Can we have a motion to approve?
I move we approve the agenda for January 28th, 2021 meeting with the previously mentioned change.
Okay. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Patty. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, that's everybody. Good. All right, we will move along to subdivision land development plans. So we have the Wilson plan to do a final approval, correct?
That is correct. So
you want to give a little background?
Joining us, and I believe the Henrys are as well.
Yes.
So this plan has been before the Planning Commission and been before the board previously. This is for a 3-lot subdivision with one one residual lot off of Smith Road and Susan Lane. We have been working with the Wilsons. We had a nice meeting with everybody together, including the water company and the fire chief. We've come up with a couple of different solutions to the issues that we had. On Smith Road, there was a waiver request originally from 60 feet to a 50-foot right-of-way. After our meeting, we all got back together and looked, and we were all looking at the wrong portion of the code. There is a 60-foot right-of-way for cul-de-sacs. Smith Road has a 50-foot right-of-way, so that now takes care of the waiver issue that is now considered null and void, so we don't need to worry about that. At this point, we also have the sewage planning module to approve and the plan to approve. The concern that we did have was fire protection services for lot 108R, which is this front lot off of Smith. We had at that meeting with the fire code and code office, we had a really great discussion with the Wilsons, and there was an agreement that they would either sprinkler the lot at 108R1 or work with the water company to extend the water line down Smith Road and then put a fire hydrant in between the two lots. That is something that they can decide and work out with the water company on their own, but it's nice because you should note there's a abandoned 4-inch main here and then a 2-inch main. So what would be really nice is getting an 8-inch in there. The fire chief was excited about that possibility, but if not, still there'll be sprinklered systems in 108R1. That note has been added to the front of the plan. We're good with that. Kathy, are you on or is it Fred?
We're both here.
Okay, so there's only 2 items we saw, which we're just going to pull up and bring real close here so you can see. Sorry,
It's okay, take your time.
I just want to make sure you can see it. When you dropped off the newer plans, you can see here it says that the cul-de-sac is brought up to the standards as in note 12. That's actually note 11. So we just want you to make that small change. If that's okay, if you go back and look at the sheet, you'll see that it doesn't match up with the numbers. And then the only other portion we were wondering about is where it says private access easement in the shaded area here. We wondered if that should say the exclusive private access easement declaration, because that is what you'll be doing, is the declaration now that we've talked about that. So those were just 2 little items. We didn't want to hold the plan up. When we looked at this as a staff, after talking to the fire chief, after talking to Corey, the planner, and going through this whole process, it's been quite interesting. The Wilsons were very good about meeting with us and talking about different solutions. Staff is now at the point where we're ready to recommend approval.
Okay, so you want that to read exclusive private access easements?
Yes, and I think, Corey, didn't we say, and I didn't type it there, but didn't we say declaration?
Yeah, I think that's what the actual agreement, we just wanted it to match up exactly with what the actual agreement said. But other than that, if as long as it says that, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
So those 2 notes changes are just for accuracy purposes. The
Yeah.
more accurate, the better. Okay, excellent.
There's no reason to hold up the plan for those 2 minor
Wording
items.
changes, yeah, good. So I'm very happy to hear that this is at the stage where it is. So congratulations to everybody. It's sometimes a long, arduous process, but I'm glad that we're here. I don't have any comments, questions. I've put the trust in the staff and planning commission. Bob, you have a question?
Yeah, it's just a timing question. Obviously, if the route of sprinkler system within the home is chosen, that would go in at the time of the build of the home. If the route of a fire hydrant was chosen, or what kind of timetable would we be looking on that? Would that have to go in before the property has the home built on it?
When the homeowners would apply for a building permit, they wouldn't be able to get a certificate of occupancy until either one of those items has been completed.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Good. And so this is the plan. We still have the sewage planning module, 2 different motions, right?
Yes, and so I'll pull that up, and I will note that when, so the first one is the resolution that you'll pass for the sewage planning module, and Corey's done the review on that, and he's indicated that that's ready to go as well. So you'll, as a board, if you agree to pass the plan, you would approve the resolution for the sewage planning module. And then when you would, the next step would be to take action on the plan. And when you take action on the plan, it would be contingent upon DEP approval of the sewage.
Yep, gotcha. Okay, so our first motion is to approve the final re-subdivision plan of Alan and Heather Wilson.
Is the resolution.
Oh, it's the resolution? Sorry, that's first. Sorry. Motion to approve resolution 2021-XX sewage planning module.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Go ahead, Chuck.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, that's the ayes have it. So that is approved, and now we will approve the final re-subdivision plan of the Wilsons contingent upon the DEP approval of the sewage planning module.
I'm so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Excellent. Okay, approved and ready to go. I feel like
Thank you.
claps are in order.
Yes, congratulations, folks.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. I will call the township tomorrow to see when I can pick up the 4 sewage planning modules that are over there. They need to be signed. The township seal needs to be placed on them.
Corey, are those signed, the new ones?
I've signed my part, yes.
Okay, then I'll just sign mine and yeah, that'll work.
Wonderful.
Thank
Okay,
you very much.
great.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
all.
much, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to just thank everybody that's worked on this because it has been, like you said, quite a process here. And, you know, we're very pleased that we've gotten this far. So on to DEP, we know, but, you know, as Denise mentioned, we did have a very good meeting and Alan and I are, you know, we're really pleased that when we come together, we think that, you know, we can help each other kind of thing. And so we appreciate all the work that the board has done and certainly everyone involved. So thank you for your time.
Wonderful. I'm glad it has a good ending for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm sorry. Can I add though that I have to say that the staff really did a lot more work on this than we did as a
We don't
board.
do it. We approve the
Thank you,
plan,
staff.
but it's all
Thank
the
you very
staff
much.
for us.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate it. We know that they were in our driveway a few times and lots of phone calls and that type of thing. So we appreciate working with us and we want to be good community partners also. So
Great. Thank you so
Great,
much.
thanks.
We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. So next up is the approval of the minutes from 2 meetings that we had on January 4th. The first is the organizational meeting, so we can do those minutes first.
We need separate motions.
Yeah.
I move that we approve the organizational or the minutes from the organizational meeting of January 4th, 21.
I'll second.
Thank you, Patty. Any discussion, edits? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. Okay, I heard everybody. Next up, who wants to make that motion?
I will.
I move that we approve the minutes for the regular meeting of January 4th, 2021. I'm sorry, Patty. I keep
That's
clobbering.
all right, Bob. I know you like to make those motions. I'll second.
Thanks, Patty.
Makes me
Any
feel-
corrections, additions, changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Okay. Moving along to the consent agenda, and I just tried to scroll.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, I can see it fine. I can see it fine. We're going to move on to the consent agenda,
Good
which
old fashioned paper.
is basically our bills and payments for period of January 1 through January 22nd. So the consent agenda is such that if we all agree, we can make the motion as one. If you have any questions about any of the items specifically, we need to pull that out and we will need to approve a motion for each one. So does anyone want to pull anything out for separate discussion? If not, then someone can go ahead and make the motion for the consent agenda.
I'll do that. I move that we approve the consent agenda for this meeting.
Okay, is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Excellent. Okay. Paying some bills. Next up is the old business property maintenance code update. Do we have an update or is it still old business?
Yes, so the update, Bob and I have been meeting weekly with Walt. We are closing in towards the end. The only issue that we're going to foresee is a timeline issue. A new code is coming out, and the residential building code that the UCC that's approved, we kind of skipped 18. So 15 was approved, the year 18 wasn't. And so the timing issue of this is we may not get to this until, what did we say, Bob, late this year?
Yeah, I think summer was the perfect scenario, but we're probably looking at more like September.
Okay.
So October,
And
maybe.
the reason for that is so that we don't pass the ordinance and then a month later need to go re-advertise and do it again.
Yes.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, with our thin budget this year, we have to make sure we do things wisely.
Yes. Okay. And just to, in case anybody's watching and wants to know what's going on with the property maintenance code, some suggestions are going to come back to this meeting. We may have like a public meeting, invite the public to come and talk about what we're proposing. And this is for primarily rental units that we're talking about, right? Well, actually, it's not just for rental units, but a lot of.
Primarily.
Yeah.
No, I think it's to give the township a mechanism to avoid liability for starters, and to deal with problems that arise that may be unforeseen now, but I don't know. There's a lot to it, and it will give the township a way to deal with its issues. I guess. I'm sorry, Ed.
Well, it's around safety of the residents as well.
Exactly.
So yeah.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have
Okay.
spoke on that without really thinking that through. I wasn't really.
That's
prepared for
okay.
the statement for it.
Okay, so where are we? This is new business. So the
Yes.
first item is the annual minimum municipal obligation and additional funding approval. So give us a little rundown, Denise.
Okay. So the Act 205 of 1984 is the funding requirements for all municipal government funds. In that, you are required as a board to see and know what the minimum municipal obligation is. When we did this in our budget meetings, we had also talked about the fact that we were currently slightly underfunded and in an early distress level. The board at that time agreed that we would be putting an additional $2,000 in for the next 5 years to help bring that funding level up. So what this is an approval of the MMO, the worksheet, and the approval to submit an additional $2,000 to be deposited as was approved in the 2021 budget.
Okay. And can you remind me, is this the first year of 5, or where are we in that 5 years of matching it or improving it?
So this will be the first year of 5 that we discussed.
Okay, just wanted to double check. So we already did approve the line item in the budget. So this is, like Denise was saying, MMO to put it in place, basically.
Yeah. And because of the additional funding, typically a township will send its MMO because of the additional amount to fund. It was recommended that we, even though it was approved in the budget meetings, it become a second motion.
Okay.
What's our total that's going down?
Give me one moment, please.
The 40s, wasn't it?
So we will be sending $43,737.
So it's that plus this 2,000 that we're.
Yeah.
Yep, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve that amount.
Yep, and as soon as it's right there on the screen,
There
do
it
you
is.
want to do that?
All right. I move that we approve the 2021 Halfmoon Township minimum municipal obligation and authorize an additional amount of $2,000 to be deposited as approved in the 2021 adopted budget.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think I got, Chuck, did you say aye too? I think I heard it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
you. All right. Next up is the Act 44 pension disclosure statement for 2020.
Yes, so this is something that is required, Act 44, the pension disclosure statement. It's basically any of the board members for the pension fund, it lists them out and their interest. This is something that's done at the beginning of the year during your organizational meeting. However, this year it was not prepared in time. So this is something that would have just gone on the consent agenda of the organizational meeting as its requirement. This also ends up on the township website every year as well.
Okay. So all we have to do is make a motion to approve the pension disclosure statement for 2020?
Sure, that's it. It's just an acknowledgement of it.
So moved. I'm sorry, I don't have that page in my booklet. I must have taken it out earlier, and
Okay, I'll second.
Okay. Is there
I was
any,
going to read the whole thing, but you know.
is there any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, moving along. Resolution 2021 dash whatever it's going to be is, sorry, what is this one again?
This is the end of year line item transfer. So
Thank you.
in the budget, anytime you go over 10% in a line item, you are supposed to go ahead and move money around, so to speak. So what we did is at the end of the year, I'm in the habit of whatever those line items are, we look at them, we put what they are and where the additional funds came from. So this is a resolution saying that in 2020, these were the line items that went over 10%. And this is the line item that we took it from and then the amount. So it balances out the budget.
And so when Denise mentioned this to me before, I was like, this is a very nice thing because this holds us accountable. This is very transparent to let anybody know these are areas where we went over the budget 10%. And so this is just a nice kind of reflection, and we can think about this as we go forward too.
Yeah, it can be consulted in the following year and at budgeting time. I mean, it's
Exactly.
there's nothing but good that can come out of something like this.
Yep. Okay, so we need a motion to get this going.
I move that the Board of Supervisors of Halfmoon Township, Center County, Pennsylvania, redistributing budget amounts to balance the budget for the fiscal year of 2020.
You mean approve the resolution to?
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I move that we approve the resolution. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
I'm so used to
There's-
reading motions that I forgot this was a resolution.
that's all right. Is there a second?
I'll second. I thought it was
Thank you,
unmuted.
Patty. Okay, is there any discussion or questions? Okay, pretty easy tonight. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, moving right along. Okay, so this is preliminary discussion on chapter 166, which is dealing with the parkland dedication ordinance revision.
Okay. So to start this out, this is a revision to one of our ordinances for parkland dedication or fee in lieu of. The way that this had previously been designed was that this wouldn't come into effect until we had a subdivision plan of more than 4 lots. So we looked and contacted townships outside of the area as well as those within the area, within the region, to see how they were handling their parkland dedication. What we had previously was a formula that was a little complicated. It was based off of a price per acre, how many dwelling units, then a percentage off of that. What we ended up doing was making it so that this would kick in for any future subdivision. So 1 lot subdivision, it would kick in for parkland dedication or for a fee in lieu of. And we also made it very simple by making it $1,000 per dwelling unit. So if the example that Corey and I were looking at was when we had the Seifert subdivision, that would have been the calculation based off of the previous formula. If he had, his was only a 2-lot, so it didn't count. But if we used that same formula and kept the formula, it would have been $2,500 based off of this revision. It will now kick in for every subdivision, and it would have cost him $1,000.
Nice. And so just in case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, this is to try and get, make sure that as we are developing, that we also have open land. That's kind of the goal of this. Am I correct?
This is parkland.
Parkland.
Yes.
Oh, to be used for public,
Yes.
not
And
just open land.
yes.
Thank
And
you.
at this point, we have a park that is developed, and it is wonderful. And right now, even though we are still technically short on parkland within the township, the region and the county is not. So what we're looking for is the MPC, the Municipal Planning Code, allows for parkland dedication or fee in lieu of. However, it doesn't allow you to tell a developer that we want fee in lieu of, but the board can make it more attractive and have a general statement that, you know, we would prefer to have that. There's nothing wrong with asking a developer that, but we cannot turn down parkland dedication.
Gotcha.
I know we had talked to a bunch of townships, and the what are we calling it, Corey? The pre-application meeting. A lot of townships actually do that, and we talked to a bunch of them, and they've said during the pre-application meeting, usually the engineer or whoever is meeting likes to say, you know, we would prefer to have that, and the developers usually are amenable to that, and nobody's that we talked to had any issues or problems with that. For developers, it's usually a little bit more attractive, especially because the portion of land that they'd have to give up is worth a little bit more than $1,000.
Yeah.
Very nice. And this money can go into our parks capital?
Yes. So this money would only be able to be used for either paying off the park or maintenance of the park or purchasing equipment for the park. It's similar to like liquid fuels. It gets used for just that specific purpose.
Very nice.
Now, we have not taken this to the county to review. This has been reviewed by our planning commission. This is just a preliminary discussion. It's been reviewed by the solicitor, and he is okay with the way it has been written as to form and how it corresponds with our open space, chapter 163. What this is just the idea for the board to see if you had anything that you wanted to add or had any questions. And if you're all right with this, we'll go ahead and forward it on to this CRPC and to the county for comments. And we will bring it back to the board after we address those comments so that we can advertise for a hearing. But again, to save money, we don't want to do that and then have to re-advertise later. We're trying to do things in a very streamlined manner.
Now, does anything on this ordinance or what was in place before this apply to the Wilsons?
No, because that would be what they just did. They applied and their plan was approved prior to this being enacted. So it won't take effect until it's been passed by the board, then any new applications.
And the old one was 4 or above, so it wouldn't have counted. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted with the old one. Okay.
They're pairing off what? 3, 2?
3 or 2.
Yeah.
They will have 3 additional lots. So for example, if this had already been in place, it would be a $3,000 fee in lieu of, or they could provide public land dedication. I know when we talked to the solicitor, there was concern about properties that could subdivide that are in our open space program, because they do get a portion that they're able to develop. However, those are leased right now, so they would have to provide public park dedication land, which would mean the township would own it. So again, it's much more attractive for anybody to pay a fee in lieu of, and we've kind of designed it that way, but we cannot turn down publicly gifted property for parkland.
Sure,
Okay.
the financial option is just a win-win for both parties. I mean, the developer doesn't have to worry about a quarter acre of his lot going to waste, excuse me. But the township has that, I don't want to call it revenue stream necessarily, but it's money that would be dedicated for, like you said, the parks themselves,
Mhm.
which I couldn't be more happy about, because right now we need to take anything that comes in that has that designation and just throw it at the park debt. So that's the way to get that paid down.
And then this, sorry, Corey, then
No,
this helps consider any future development that may be higher density. If we have something that comes in because it's based off of a dwelling unit and we change any type of zoning and we have a higher density development, again, that would either produce a portion of public parkland or a large chunk of money, depending. So it really is a beneficial way for developers and the township to work together.
Lovely. I think it's great. I don't have any other questions or comments. Bob, Patty, Chuck, do you have anything? Nope. Okay, carry on.
Okay,
We'll hear about it again later.
Yes.
Excellent.
Denise, do we need a motion to have them send that to CRPC for review?
No, I don't believe a motion's required. They just provided consensus to send it. So we will, because this is just a preliminary discussion. This is not any type of determination of acceptance at this point.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, next up, we have Open Space Board Preservation Board appointment. We have a new person who's interested in being on our Open Space Preservation Board. Sorry, I was really slow there to begin with. And so let's go and talk about Joanne Fisher. Very exciting.
Yes, and so Joanne is actually on this call as well. If she is able to unmute, if you have any questions. But we did receive information from her. If you're not familiar, Joanne is actually somebody who we just accepted 2 of her properties into the open space program. Our Open Space Preservation Board is required to be made up of a wide variety of citizens and 1 board member. Some of those citizens are to be in the program. Joanne would be an addition to the board. That is someone who is in the program. And she has provided us with her resume and letter of intent.
Fabulous. Yes, go ahead, Bob.
Just one question. This isn't going to, and I'm sure I know the answer to this, but this isn't going to make the board, because I don't know the current makeup of the board. This isn't going to make the board 100% participants of the program, correct?
Not that, no, Patty, for example, is not in the program.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, but everyone else, what I'm saying.
I don't think Reed isn't.
Yeah, Reed isn't.
Okay, I just want to stay away from that. You know, we get a board made up of the people who are affected by their decisions. I'm fine with having some folks in the board. I just don't want it to be 100%. So.
Yep, it is a mix, which is good.
Yes.
Is Ron in the program? I don't think he is. Is he? Ron?
No, he's not.
Okay, so that's at least 3 of us.
That's
Okay,
good.
that's fine. That's
Jim
totally-
is not either.
Oh, he's not? I thought you guys were. Okay, so then that's 4. So we're good.
Good, good. Different perspectives. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Joanne? Or Joanne, feel free. Do you want to say anything? And don't forget to unmute if you want to.
Happens to the best of us.
I'm not seeing her unmute, so that's okay with us. I'm okay. I will go ahead and make a motion that we appoint Joanne Fisher to be on the Open Space Preservation Board.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
I just wanted to make sure I heard. Did I hear Bob and Chuck?
Yeah. Aye.
Okay, thank you. I think you might have said it at the same time. It canceled each other out. Thank you very much. And congratulations, Joanne. We welcome you to the board and enjoy your time. And we hope you have add good benefit and value to the board. Okay, moving along, we have a resignation of Regina Viorale. I'm going to guess that's pronunciation on that, as the Planning Commission alternative. So we happen to have another person who's actually willing to be on the Planning Commission. So these somewhat cancel each other out, which is the appointment of Rick Bates as a Planning Commission member. So Denise, do we have anything else to add to that?
No, I should just note, in case there's any question about it, the Planning Commission does not require alternates, but our Planning Commission is allowed to be made up of 5 to 7 board members with up to 3 alternates. So we, at this point, we approved Marty Merrig, and so he is a new member, and then Rick Bates wanting to join as well will be a new member. So with the alternate, it's a little bit more difficult because the alternate is a person who shows up to the meetings, does everything, but doesn't vote unless there's a problem with quorum or if there's an issue that somebody has to abstain. We do not have any alternates that will be appointed at this time. We will have a full board.
Gotcha. And do we still have 2 other alternates or no?
We will have 3 open alternate positions, but there's, at this point, if somebody's interested and wants to consider it, we will happily take their letter of interest and their resume as well and
Okay.
go from there.
How many are on the board currently?
5. How many are on the board?
With the addition of Rick, there would be 6.
Okay,
Oh,
so there's
good,
actually
good.
one position that could potentially
Yes,
still
there's
be
still
open.
one open full-time position if somebody was interested.
Okay,
Perfect.
but you
Well,
have
that's
enough to
good.
operate.
Yes.
Oh yeah, plenty. Good, good. Okay, so we don't need to do anything about the, do we have to make a motion for the resignation?
There's typically people accept it. So
Okay.
if you
We'll do
just,
that. Does anyone else want to make motions? Or you want me to do it?
I move that we accept Regina's resignation as a planning commission alternate.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Want to thank Regina for the time that she had spent as a planning commission alternate. Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Oh, those were all ayes. Okay, next up is the motion for the appointment.
I move that we appoint Rick, what was his name? Rick Bates?
Yes.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong page. Rick Bates to the Halfmoon Township Planning Commission as a voting member.
And this is
Second.
through, oh, I'm sorry. This was through which date again, Denise? I'm sorry.
Rick's appointment will be, let me pull
It
that
was
up.
on the,
I think it's 2024.
2024, yes.
thank you. Okay. And Patty, I heard you second.
Yes.
Is there any discussion? I'm assuming, does the planning commission already?
The Planning Commission unanimously recommended his approval.
Awesome. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. Okay. Ayes have it. Moving right along to, we're tabling the Fire Protection Services bank account until the next meeting. Next up is the department reports. Is there anything of note to mention? I'm sure you do in your manager's report, but in any of the others?
The board was sent out the treasurer's report in a separate email with some notes from Brett as well that are in that email if you had any questions on that. There's nothing significant to note. I know that in the manager's report, I'd like to talk about a couple of things in there. First, I'm going to start with the ice rink. I just received notification that the staff attempted to start repairing it today. And we're hoping that we'll get some water in it, and we've hit all of the slices and holes and everything. So it's not looking fantastic, but maybe we can get through the season.
Well,
With
it's cold. It's cold enough out there to go ice skate.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. But with that being said, what we're hoping to do is repair it and make it through the rest of the season if it's possible. If not, we'll know within the next week or so, and we'll post something on the website. With that being said, we did ask the public whether or not they were interested in purchasing a new liner. The current cost is about $1,700 for a new liner. We received 124 responses. The survey was up for 10 days. And from that 26 said that they were not in favor of purchasing a new liner, where 98 were. There was a comment that was consistent throughout the survey, which was, yes, purchase, but put some sort of camera or some sort of device so that if any vandalism were to occur, we could catch the vandals. Interestingly enough, this ties to the fact that we did have a camera up at the park. It was aimed at the dumpsters, and we prosecuted somebody for illegally dumping. We won that at the MDJ level, managerial district judge. So we received one of our monthly trash bills in restitution for that, as well as the person who was prosecuted has been told, whoever told you to dump in that park, you should go back and say that we will be prosecuting anybody. We've added a sign as well that says no illegal dumping or you will be prosecuted. So we can take that camera now and aim it at the ice rink for a portion of time, hoping that people will not illegally dump at our parks.
Excellent. Good to hear. And I just want to say that I love reaching out to people to find out if we want to do something. When Denise mentioned, the cost of the liner with the vandalism and the fact we didn't have it in our budget, and knowing what our budget process was like last year, I said, why don't we ask the people if they think it's worth spending money on? So I was very happy to see that response. It's great to be able to act on data versus our own personal opinions. So I'm all in favor of anytime we have some things like this, post it, reach it out to people to get some feedback on which direction to go in. So that was fantastic.
Was
Thank
that
you.
put out in an email too, that saying that the survey was on? Because I didn't see a notification for the survey.
We sent it in email. It was on our Facebook. I even put it on Stormstown Neighbors and asked people to go to our website for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must not have, I thought I updated my link for the township news, but maybe I didn't. But I've been getting other ones. I just must have missed this one. Okay, that's the thing. I'm taking it that our insurance didn't cover it or it wasn't worth it with the deductible.
That's exactly the second one. When I contacted our insurance company, it wasn't going to be worth it with the deductible. What would end up happening is we would receive a very small check, and then the insurance would increase more than what it would have been worth.
Yeah.
So at this point, the only thing I would ask is that the board do a motion to approve the purchase of that liner.
Oh, we ready to do that now?
Sure.
Okay. I move that we approve the purchase of the liner to create an ice rink in the tennis courts.
I'll second.
Does anyone have any discussion or questions?
Just to clarify, we can afford this, right? We've got it in the budget.
We are very frugal in our budget.
I know.
We will take care of that, and you'll see at the end of the year resolution where that ice rink line item is going to be transferred somewhere.
Okay. Denise, I guess my question is, how long would it take to get a new one based on where we are in the season? Is it worth it at this point, or would we not even get it but not install it till next season?
Right, because of the way that it's set up, we will be able to purchase it now in next season, but we won't have enough time to purchase it, get it shipped, tear down the old one, and put up a new one. It won't work.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That
Great.
timeline would be just in time to have a swimming pool in April.
Right. Okay, excellent. Anything else in your manager's report?
Yes, I'm just going to note Chuck is going to be leaving, so if we wanted to note the time and that he will be leaving this.
No problem. It is 7:44 p.m. Thank you, Chuck.
Excuse me.
Yes, Amy.
Made a first and second.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we have a vote. I asked about if we could afford the liner, and then we never voted on that.
Oh, gosh.
Thanks,
Did
Amy.
not-
No problem.
Thanks, Amy. Did we make a motion?
Mhm.
Who did it? Did I?
You.
You did. And I seconded it.
Yes.
And then we had discussion. Thank you. So that was me, Patty. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Phew. Sometimes
Okay.
it
I feel
gets,
like we're all getting derailed by something tonight.
sometimes it gets away from me. Okay. And I did want to note then Chuck has to leave the meeting.
Yes.
Okay. It is now 7:45 p.m. Okay. Thank you, Chuck.
A couple of other things to note. The draft Center County Hazard Mitigation Plan is available to review, and it is in the comment period. Comments are being accepted until February 8th. This is something that we review every year. We do this. It's administered by the region. So Sean Kaufman handles this for us. It is expected that we will have this go to the COG General Forum in April, and then it will be adopted by the municipalities sometime in the following month. This is what's required for us to do in order to receive any grant money that's available after, pre or post disaster. Think pandemic world, because we had this, we were able to do some grants and accept some money. So that is available on the county website. You can look at this report, and it's a clickable link as well. The PennDOT Office of Transformational Technology also did what's called a personal delivery device, or PDD webinar. The best way I can describe this is something that basically like Amazon has for higher density areas. It's a little robot that it's a land drone that delivers you packages. It's only allowed to be on public property, on roads or shoulders that have a speed limit of 25, but no more than 35. It's not allowed on any private roads or private property. It passed very quickly at the end of 2020 in Act 106. This is not something that I am nervous about or feel that we need to prep for in Halfmoon Township, especially since half of our roads are private. But it is something that I just want to make you aware of. State College Borough is a little bit more concerned about this than we are. We'll keep you abreast of any type of movement on this. Additionally, phase 3 of the countywide action plan. This is currently something that was developed by HRG. It's a plan that is designed to help reduce nitrogen levels within the Chesapeake watershed, Chesapeake Bay watershed. Halfmoon Township is currently not an MS4 municipality. MS4 stands for Municipal Separate Stormwater Sewer Systems. This is something that's being discussed heavily right now in Ferguson Township, MS4 programs, and the fees associated with it. You can view the presentation that was provided in the link on this report. The best way I can say this is something that the county has decided to do, and they're heavy in outreach. So this has the potential to affect a lot of the local farmers. They want to start working with some of the farmers to help reduce the nitrogen levels. We sent a letter to HRG asking what would constitute Halfmoon Township being designated as an MS4 community. DEP has no specific guidelines that they can point to. So at any point, we can become an MS4 community. And the questions then were whether or not the credits for the BMPs could be prorated back to the municipality if we suddenly get an MS4 designation in the middle of a project. So not only were the answers, we don't know what makes you an MS4 community, but also no, you will not receive any credits. Corey, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I looked in a little bit more on the MS4 program itself, and to be considered an MS4 community, you have to be considered in an urbanized area by the census. So I could see State College being part of that, but just to let you know, Pine Grove Mills is considered to be an urbanized area. Bellefonte is not considered to be urbanized. So kind of it depends. It's at some point Halfmoon Township may be thrown into that category. I don't see it being anytime soon, but the plan is very good. It's very broad and has very big goals. So I would be very interested to see exactly what happens by 2025 when the plan is complete. But I think Denise and I did a pretty good job at getting some questions out there to see where we would be if we are considered MS4 at some point.
So I recommend you just take a quick glance. It's a very repetitive report.
Yes.
But it's a good idea to take a look at it and just get an idea. Couple of minor things. We have all of our phones installed now and working. Yay.
Excellent.
So everybody at the township now has their own voicemail box, and you can reach us separately by using our extensions, which are all listed on our emails now as well. So that is fantastic. I feel so good about that. It's so weird to have your own voicemail box, but it's wonderful. So that has been completed. Additionally,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Corey has been great with helping us and Steve at the planning agency. We did not have an electronic plow map. So the COG has been helping us develop that, and we've just finalized having a digital electronic version of a plow map. When we were hit with coronavirus, I was asked to send our plow maps to other municipalities so they could help out, but we didn't have one that was electronic that I could send to them. So now that's a piece of that puzzle has been solved.
Excellent.
Additionally, the elected auditors met on January 5th, and they have the same positions. Our auditors have reached out to us, and we've started the auditing process. They will be meeting with us on Tuesday for the first time in a Teams meeting. Everything is in pandemic world a little bit different, but I'm excited and can't wait to get it started. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I love audit time. It's a great opportunity to learn what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and how you can improve. So that will give you updates on that. And then the only other two things were that the transportation and land use meeting was held on the 11th with the same officers being elected, and the public safety and environmental committee met. They are planning on joining as one committee with a acronym that I cannot remember, but there will be a joint meeting on the 4th of February at 12:15 to discuss that. And then Corey reported to us that the Spring Creek watershed met on the 20th, reorganized, and had an MS4 presentation from the borough sustainability assistant.
Wonderful. Does anyone have any questions for Denise on any of those reports? All right. Moving right along, we have committee reports. And before we get going, I just want to, this is our first meeting after the reorganization technically, but I just want to mention that, Bob, you have a lot of committees. I'm just going to say that because after going through like the first month of this, maybe reevaluate, because I have one.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to first off ask any of you if you wanted to take over the temporary committee of the Schlow Library Executive Director search. That meets tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Surprise. But yeah, that one I've been unfortunately struggling to kind of keep up with the emails and everything. And I do enjoy the others though, and I had no problem attending them. But if you are looking for more, yes, it is a lot.
I mean, I'm not necessarily looking for more, but what I want to make sure of is that you have capacity to be able to bring your best self to those and be able to return the information back. So I don't want you to feel stressed or spread too
No,
thin.
I get it. And I appreciate that thought, and I thank you for it.
Okay,
Because yes, and like I said, if anyone, I could attend this meeting tomorrow morning because obviously it was a scheduling thing, but I could let them know that from meetings going forward, if someone wanted to take over the library executive director search, that would be helpful. I would.
can you
I would
tell me
really-
what stage is it in? Would it be a,
I have to say that, and this is part why I'm saying this right now, because that
Uh-huh.
one I feel like I've been negligent. I've missed a couple of meetings, and I think right now they are accepting resumes.
okay,
Again, I'm sorry, that one kind of got pushed to the wayside.
that's okay.
between-
Because if they're just accepting resumes, I think it's a
yeah, it's
good
still
point,
pretty
'cause
early in the process.
in some stage, it doesn't make sense to have somebody else come in, but I would be happy to take that. I need to check my schedule for tomorrow. I don't know if, I don't think I have availability tomorrow at
Well, let
9.
me know. Yeah, like I said, I can attend tomorrow, and I'll give you an update on what was discussed. And
Let's go ahead and do that. If you want to do that, and then we can transition, I would be happy to take the rest of that for you.
thank you, I appreciate that.
Yep.
So
Okay,
can
so I just wanted to
that
say, that.
and
Let me
throw
just
it
jot
away.
that down for myself. So let's just go down the list here. Bob, if you want to give an update on the executive committee?
Yeah, I have a bunch of updates here, and that wasn't the one I had at the top. Executive committee, here we go. Executive committee met on January 19th, appointed Denny Hermeister from Harris Township as chair, and fellow Park and Rec softball player, Rich Frank from College Township as vice chair. The committee made its recommendation for the annual appointment of Alpha Fire Company officers, which were carried out in Monday's general forum meeting. A brief presentation was given to the executive committee by Sharima Young and Sonia DeLuca Fernandez from Penn State University on the purpose, function, and expanded efforts of the Center Region Anti-Bias Coalition.
Nice.
It was recommended that a similar yet expanded presentation be given to the COG General Forum during an upcoming General Forum meeting, as well as to individual COG municipalities upon request. And as the rep to the executive committee from Halfmoon Township, I expressed interest that receiving that presentation at one of our upcoming board meetings would be awesome. The executive committee forwarded the HR committee's recommendation of the negative leave program, which was discussed during the general forum meeting. And turn to page. And that's it for the executive committee.
Awesome.
Hey,
Patty,
Danelle, can I make a suggestion?
yeah,
We just had general forum Monday night, and in general forum, we had really extensive committee reports. So if, like for mine, for finance and facilities, I'm gonna say, reference the, Monday night's meeting, because it was all in there.
Yeah,
And
I
unless-
kind of felt that way myself too, but I
Yeah.
wanted to go through the motions just so it,
sure.
Some of them gave very lengthy reports, and
Yeah,
it was all
I
in the
agree.
notes, and plus
Yeah.
they sent out another summary.
So really only if something we haven't heard yet, or something
Yes.
pertinent
Yeah.
to Halfmoon Township.
not to mention,
And I saw
more,
Bob's,
more often than not, this second meeting of the month for Half Moon Township
Mhm.
is before the general forum meeting. So,
Right.
it's just
We
this
just
one's
have to-
kind of aligned a little funny. So I agree. I mean, if I don't have to read all the stuff that I wrote up, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Denise, I might ask you to go back to the list of things.
if anybody wants to give one that wasn't covered in that meeting, or if anything changed.
Sure, yeah. Do I
Yeah, there they are.
continue with the couple that I could say that with? Let's do, we had the Upper Bald Eagle COG meeting on January 5th. Mark Lively is remaining as chair, and Bob Berg was selected as vice chair.
Awesome.
It was a light agenda, housekeeping matters.
Okay.
The one thing to note from the Port Matilda Fire Department is their new brush truck, which they purchased, is at the upfitters to get a box on the back or something like that.
Okay.
And the timeline for that has been pushed back because of COVID. So they're possibly not going to have that new piece of equipment available to them until late spring or early summer, unfortunately. Public safety. And I have the COG, the CNET Board of Directors. We met on the 12th. Executive Director Cindy Hahn, in consultation with CNET Operations Manager, has determined that the special programming such as community events, military history, and Civil War roundtable lectures and such be televised on Channel 98 effective January 1st. CNET has 16 member organizations, 12 are government. So Channel 7, which is the place where all the government meetings are crammed into, is getting crowded, and all those other programs are getting pushed to the wee hours of the morning. So they're trying to give them a better time slot by moving them to the other channel.
Excellent.
And we had the solar power purchase work group meeting this morning. Peter Buck and Gretchen Brandt are remaining as chair and vice chair for the sake of continuity, because it's a temporary committee. It seems like it's going to temporary as years, but you know, we revisited the timeline for hiring of the energy consultant because of COVID. Everything's because of COVID anymore. And the meeting was followed by a brief work session to try and get all the entities on the same page with our requirements of a solar power purchase consultant. So, because right now it's kind of like herding cats in the meeting. Everybody's kind of all over the place with what they want out of the program and from a consultant. So we're all just trying to get on the same page.
Excellent.
And after that, I'm done.
All right, you did the CNET. Okay, and Patty, you said nothing else other than what was already presented at COG?
I just have one thing. The Finance Committee is going to have a special meeting on February 1st to discuss options with for the Whitehall Regional Road for a park regional load, about refinancing and things. They're going to ask us to bring things to our board. I'll bring things back just for information, but we don't have voting or really a say in that, so it would just be informational. But
Not a real estate, because they're refinancing. I'm sorry.
it's for the parks program. We don't have any skin in that game.
But I thought because real estate in the parks, I thought we had something to do with that.
They're not buying.
No, it's for the development of the park.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. Nothing for human resources?
He sent, that's the one you sent out, right, Bob?
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Public safety, TLU, Dave Piper is not here, but I think Denise, you gave somewhat of a small update on TLU, and public services environmental as well. Facilities, Patty, was there anything else other than?
The only thing I'll highlight there is our hire, Lou Brumgard, for the facilities manager, has been excellent, and things are really rolling. He's really jumped in, and he's already saved us a lot of money by going through the bids for phase 1 of the regional park. And yeah, he's been really
That's
great. I'm really happy. And yeah, so no, the facilities committee is doing well.
Fabulous.
And, yeah, and I'm the vice chair on that for this year.
Excellent. CCMPO coordinator Barb Spencer normally sends us any updates there. I don't remember getting any anytime soon. And then I was also wondering, and Denise, I don't know if you know this, is this an annual appointment or?
It's a 2-year appointment.
Okay.
For Spencer, and the CCMPO only meets quarterly, I believe it is.
Right.
So yeah, you won't have a report right now.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I was just wondering if we would be expecting a re-up or have to appoint her again or somebody else, but we have time for that as well.
One of the things they'll be doing in this year is looking at 2-year appointments for the end of this year. So
perfect. Okay, thank you. We don't really have anyone go to the CCMPO technical. Spring Creek Watershed, Dave is also not here, so I'm not sure if he went to that. But I think, Denise, did you say that there was a presentation, or did you say that there was?
Corey did.
Corey.
Yeah, they gave the borough gave a brief presentation on the MS4 programs and things that they're going to be doing within the next year or two.
Thank you. So the State College Borough Water Authority is a little bit new, right? That's a newer one that we're getting
Yeah.
involved in. And
Yeah, I was able to go to that. Nothing major. It was just their typical reorganization meeting. All the officers stayed the same. I did want to note that they mentioned in 2020, with COVID still being, the major issue that we had, they still had 117 new connections, which is average, which I thought that was pretty impressive to, as people thought plans and things were down, that's interesting to see those new connections come in.
wow, interesting. Okay. Let's see. Open space. Was there any meetings? Anything to note? Patty, I guess you would be our rep.
We met on when was that, the 6th?
The 13th.
Oh, the 13th, that's right, it's the second Wednesday. Okay.
Nothing of note, though?
We started.
Yeah, we started going through we did send out a letter to everyone on the program, asking about who was interested in potential permanent easement. So for purchase. So we're looking at that avenue, and we're working on finalizing our scale to rank those.
Excellent.
Properties.
Okay.
Denise, is there anything you want to add?
Yes, there is a grant available for land preservation for the year. And so while we're doing this and going through this process, one of the board members, Reed, has generously taken on the task of looking into that and applying for grants. So if we are to purchase a property for permanent easement, we could essentially double our money.
Excellent. Very nice. Okay. And then the final committee, Bob is the representative, but he wasn't able to attend, so I attended the Climate Action and Sustainability Committee. This is a brand new committee that was put together. This is part of that TLU, Public Services Environmental, Climate Action. So this is to help reduce the greenhouse gases. I will say, so Betsy Whitman, it says right here, was elected the chair with Carla as the vice chair, and the committee members are listed there as well. There's a lot to this committee, and I think I mentioned it as the outside rep, just filling in. There's a lot under this group's umbrella, and I look forward to this next year where all of these different groups and these similar related topics, if we can kind of figure out how to organize it in a way that doesn't cross paths and doesn't step on anybody's toes. And there's a lot of just integrated topics. So it'll be a very interesting year for the Public Services Environmental, TLU, and this committee. One thing I would like to share, though, is there's a fabulous website, and I'm going to post it in the chat here. So if you look in the chat, it's called centersustains.com. There's a lot around climate action and trying to understand it and its impact and what does that mean in Center County? What does that mean for us? This website is fantastic. Pam Adams and a recent graduate, I guess, of State High who does web development. This was presented a little bit, I think, at COG, but I just wanted to share it with everybody. And if any residents are watching that is like, I don't understand what any of this stuff is, this website is completely designed for outreach and to make some pretty complex topics more digestible for the lay folk like us. So I just highly recommend, just go check it out and see what's there. They have a survey that they're going to look to send out to folks. So you can sign up to be alerted when there's a survey. And it's really all about outreach and trying to at least put some information out there to people. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's really how lots of websites should be designed to put things in people's understanding. Like, we talk the talk a lot of the times, and trying to explain things to other folks who don't talk the talk all the time, they don't get it. So this really translates some things pretty nicely. So
yeah, Danelle, I actually took a quick look at that website this afternoon, and it does look like everything's written in plain English, and it's for the laissez-faire type
correct
individual to absorb it and get a grasp on what
Right.
everyone's trying to do.
So I just wanted to say thumbs up because they did a nice job putting that together.
Danelle, I will back to our I'm overloaded topic.
Yes.
Since that is a new committee and you attended the first meeting, would you like to become the permanent on that?
I would be happy to, because it is also related to public services and environmental.
Yes, exactly.
Which I'm
That's
on
why I
too.
kind of liked it, because it's related to a couple of the other committees I was on. But yeah, it is a lot.
Yes, yes.
So
I would be happy to do that.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. I can send, Denise, I can send the email. Do you do that?
I'll happily do that, but what I highly recommend
Yes.
is that you make a motion that you now are the rep and Bob, you're now the alternate.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure,
could
we
do
can do that. Do we need to do that for the library search as well, director search?
No,
No.
that was never something that we motioned for.
Okay. I will make my own motion that I move that I take Bob's place as the representative of Halfmoon Township on the Climate Action and Sustainability Committee.
Second.
Thanks, Patty. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thanks.
great. No worries.
Okay.
Okay. Beautiful. I think that is the end of our meeting. Is there anything? Oh, go ahead, Denise.
Yes, I just want to point out, and Amy, I'm going to throw you on the spot with this. During the general forum meeting, it was noted that Corey Warner, who is our SEO, got an award. And Amy, if you can speak on this a little bit, if you remember the name of it, it is pretty prestigious.
Yes.
Amy, are you able to unmute?
I think it was actually a certification, wasn't it?
It's a
Denise?
certification level,
And
yes.
there's only about 800 in the, they said in the country.
Country, I think they said.
Yes, in the country. So it's like master certified code inspector. I'm not sure what the actual title is. Amy's off on mute. Do you have it, Amy?
I'm sorry. I don't remember the exact title.
I know you wrote it down and it was at your desk. But I was very impressed hearing that, and I just want to be sure to know that he's acknowledged here as well, and we congratulate him on that. That it was quite a big accomplishment.
Yeah, because I think they said that there's about like 16 different certifications that you have to get, and then you get to that master level. So yeah, very impressive. And I don't know, some folks complain about the code office. They do their job and they do it very well. And they have some very, very respected, talented, informed, and knowledgeable people working there. So.
Yes, they do.
And Corey is a resident, so.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that. Fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge that. That was impressive. I was impressed that there's only 800 in the country. So
Yeah. Awesome.
Good for him.
And
Great
didn't
recognition.
Walt said that we have the privilege in the center region of having 4 of those folks, those master level folks.
Is that what he said? 4? I didn't hear the number.
I think so. I think that was right.
We actually have 4 of those folks in the center region out of 800 in the country. So we are truly blessed right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. Fantastic. Anything else for the good and welfare? Any other announcements? Everybody good? Our next scheduled meeting is Thursday, February 11th at 7 p.m. The Zoom link and registration can be found on the website on the calendar. And that's all I have. Anybody else? Seeing no other business, meeting adjourned.
Night.
Everyone, good night.
Bye.